this is effectively concluding. I mean, you know, a cycle of a quadrilogy of Themis birthdays that I've done that have spanned my entire streaming career as of my year of streaming. A year of Themis birthdays. I think I will. I wasn't sure, like, for a second there, but I think I am gonna pull for his birthday card. I gotta comment on the name though. Redolent Nonage? How do we say this? How do I say this? I'm gonna look it up live on stream. Redolent, I'm pretty sure I'm saying that right. That's just a word I don't really use that often. Okay, hold up.
Redolent.
Redolent, okay, yeah. All right, of course. Nonage, I did look this up and saw that it refers to like a nonagenarian, the period of immaturity or youth.
Nonage.
Nonage, okay, I got that right. Rose is so beautiful. She's such a queen. We'll go through the birthday event. I'll finish that off. I haven't actually read any of it. I like clicked through it. I only saw enough to see that Luke wears a really like kind of disgusting sweater in it. But I of course forgive him. Okay, but yeah, I'm excited. Let's get into it, shall we? Redolent Nonage. It still doesn't sound right. It's basically the same as Vin's birthday, which was not my favorite. It's like, it's heavily time gated. Let me know if the music is too loud or anything. Maybe it's slightly loud. But yeah, it's one of these where you go to the locations and you have to kind of pass the time by clicking through various little dialogues and actions. It's fine. Okay, so now here's where we're gonna have to use our S-chips to get a little further. That's where they get you. Oh, here we go. Okay. Ride that swan boat. Hold up. Maybe, you know, I just sort of jumped right into this and started clicking, but maybe I should just actually like play through the story itself, right? Let me just click through these. And then we'll start from square one. Because hey, maybe you're confused about why we're going on all these dates with Luke, huh? Okay, I'm gonna leave that be for now, and we're gonna start from the beginning. At Luke's antique shop. Will Luke be bored with his birthday arrangements? Is it be better if we go to the exhibition first? So soon? So soon must I hit you with a wee woo? Is it be better if we go to the exhibition first? This is Luke's terrible sweater. I'm sorry. It's I just don't like it. Zan, what's got you thinking so hard? Scared me. You didn't even make a sound. You were just lost in thought. Forgot that I was even in the store. What's bothering you? Why don't you tell me about it? Maybe I can help you out. Luke leans over and looks at you with a smile. Your heart flutters slightly and you nearly reveal the plan you've been cooking up. Wouldn't it ruin the surprise if you tell him about it now? You suddenly have an idea when you see the delicate pendant on the wall of the antique shop. I was just attracted by that pendant over there. Okay. Are you busy lately? You can tell that Luke is testing you and you can't help but to tease him a little bit. Of course, I have piles of case files to sort out. Piles of files. Wasn't talking about work. I thought my girlfriend was busy preparing for my birthday. I guess I'm secondary to your work. Wow, Luke, really? Oh. Luke frowns slightly with his hands pressed against his chest, acting like his heart is in pain. Seeing his exaggerated performance, you can't help but laugh out loud. I was teasing you. Of course, I have been preparing for your birthday. I've been trying to keep up with your time gating. I knew you wouldn't forget about my birthday. So, what's the plan this year? I've never seen any birthday boy come forward to ask for his birthday arrangements in advance. If I told you, then there'd be no surprise. But I'm really looking forward to it. I will like whatever you arrange. It's the first birthday I'm spending with you as your lover. Your lover. So it'll be special, right? Luke gently rests his hand on your shoulder. The warmth of the touch invokes a different kind of feeling in you. Oh? Your cheeks start to burn as your mind drifts away. It's our first time celebrating your birthday as lovers. So of course, I have thought about it. Watching a movie? No, that's too basic. I'm not a basic bitch. How about going to a photography exhibition? Not bad. I think you'll like it. You scribble on a piece of paper, circling or crossing over ideas. Finally, you pick a few that suits your fancy. You pick a few that suits your fancy. All right, that was a relatively minor typo. The next step is to figure out how to schedule everything. Will there be too many people around this time? Looking at the calendar, you keep adjusting the schedule of activities. After countless revisions, you finally complete a relatively detailed schedule on your computer. Finally. Luke will definitely be amazed by my plan. You open the tutorial video you'd left on pause halfway through and imagine what it's like to do all these activities with Luke. A weaving tutorial plays on the screen. Schedule's done. Now for the gift. You decided on the gift a long time ago. It's much easier than complicated birthday event arrangements. A red bracelet is your gift for Luke. It represents the blessing of safety and protection. Cute. A traditional red bracelet with snake knots is believed to keep people safe. I like it. When a couple wears a matching pair of red bracelets, it also signifies a lifelong commitment to each other. Cute. The meanings behind this gift speaks to me perfectly. Dear God, get it together, Rosa! Get it together! We need to tighten up here. It's Luke's birthday. The beep in the tutorial draws your attention back to the red thread you've started with. I better stop wondering about things and hurry up. Get the gold thread through here and around to the front of the red thread. Why does this not look different from the one in the video? This isn't as simple as how the video seems to make it out to be. It's not too hard to make the bracelet, but it takes practice to make it turn out neat and beautiful. Holding gold beads and red thread, you are once again thrown back into the battle of bracelet weaving. If Luke and I wear a pair of red bracelets together, it'll be a lifelong promise for us. You can't help but smile at the thought. Someone's in a good mood. Are you preparing a surprise for me? I won't tell you. I'll be patient. Looking at Luke's slightly sad face, you feel a little bad. After a moment of internal struggle, you choose to compromise. All right, I'll tell you about it, but just a little. I want to take you to some old places. Perhaps there will be something new to see. Not only those in our childhood, but also the places I loved to visit when I was in college. If I have to give the arrangement a theme, I will call it Reflecting on the Past and Setting Off for the Future. I like that better than Redolent Nonage. Sounds like the kind of essay we used to write in school. Luke Pierce, actually. It sounds memorable. Rather memorable. He takes your hand into his palm and holds it tightly. You can clearly hear Luke's heartbeat over the ticking of the clock in the antique shop. It is fast and strong. This year's birthday is going to be amazing. I just know it. For sure. You will never forget it. It'll be a precious memory for us. Okay, let's buy some decorations to decorate the second floor. Tiny haven. No peeking! Okay. I won't look. You go behind Luke and stand on tiptoe, trying to blindfold him just like what lovers do on TV. He figures out what you're up to and squats down slightly, his right hand resting gently on the back of your hands. I'm ready. Okay, I'm gonna let my hands go now. As you move your hands away, Luke slowly opens his eyes. You walk over to him. This is... How is it? It's totally different now, right? I redid the wall and changed the carpet. I also made the tent the right size for both of us. It's an extreme home makeover. What do you think? Aren't I amazing? You better say yes, because it's true. So the materials we went to buy were all for this? It's beautiful. I never thought it could look like this. Rosa is a Giga Chad. It's so true. Luke glances back at you with slightly wet eyes. Aw, it's such a puppy. He lowers his head and reaches out, gently rubbing your fingertips. This kind of rough work is not for ladies. Leave it to me next time. Okay. I'll be sure to drag you in next time. While Luke is walking around checking out the details, you turn off all the lights in the house. The night city outside the window is the only light that illuminates the room. Saying, why are all the lights off? Come lay down with me, like how we did back then. Okay. Luke feels his way to you. You two lay side by side on the blanket just like you did when you were kids. We used to look at the ceiling and imagine that it was a kingdom. Yeah, and we imagined that many cute little fairies were living in that kingdom. Little Paimon-esque characters. While Luke is fantasizing, you secretly press the remote control next to you. Wow. The beautiful constellation patterns of starlight suddenly shine on the wall, moving slowly in the romantic music. It's just like something right out of a fairy tale. It's from the star projector we bought together. Looks good, right? It's very romantic. I didn't know it was for my birthday, especially in this place. Starting to worry about what I should do on your birthday. Romantic birthday, casual and relaxing birthday. How about that? Yeah, don't worry about it. You don't have to go crazy. You don't have to... Yeah, as long as we're together on the day, I'm happy with anything. But I'm happy to spoil my special little boy. You said it now. Don't go regretting it later. Look, isn't that Sagittarius? That's your sign. Oh, that's Moxie's sign as well. You and Luke lie on your backs, enjoying the starry sky. Yeah, Rosa birthday is our birthday. You do get a cake and a present. Yep, that's true. That's true. But after all we've done for these boys, we deserve our own event. You two have so much to talk about, from the past to your present relationship. Driven by relaxation and the shared warmth of your bodies, you both fall asleep on this fancy night. So fancy. Your hands are held tight together. The starry sky slowly rotates, spinning a sweet and colorful dream for the two of you. Okay. Now it is time to savor the sweet congee flavor of childhood. Is that... Hold up, am I saying this right? Hold up. Yes, it is in Chinese cooking, broth or porridge made from rice. It's more like...
Congee.
Congee. Okay. There we go. The sweet congee flavor of childhood. This is the old district, so we must be here for the view. Nope. That'll be a 1-mark deduction. Come on, Detective Pierce, use your imagination. I was wrong? Seriously? Are we here to learn about marriage customs? What? Your cheeks redden slightly, even though you know he's just making fun of you. You don't know what to say. Luke gently boops your nose and tussles the hair in front of your forehead. All right, I'll stop teasing you. I'm entirely at your disposal. Luke gives his hand to you, looking rather cooperative. Come with me. You lead Luke to a street stall and sit down by a clean table. Give it a try, Luke. Under your watchful gaze, Luke takes a spoonful of the thick and sweet congee. It tastes familiar, just like the one made by the old lady on the old street last time. Didn't she move away after we started high school? What's going on? Are they related? They don't look alike. I asked the same question. It turns out that the shopkeeper and the old lady are not related. Anyway, doesn't it taste similar to the one we used to have? Took me a long time to find this place. I've tried a dozen places recently, just to find the taste of our childhood. My poor empty wallet. Hearing your words, Luke's hand, which is holding the spoon, pauses midair. He hurriedly puts the spoon down in his hand, holds your shoulders, and looks you up and down. You fool! Why so serious? You fool! What if you had a stomach ache from all that kanji? What? I mean, it's fine. Live a little. Do not ever do that again. Are you being serious right now? Because you're making this a little weird. No, I knew what I was doing. Plus, I had Kiki to share them with me. Doing anything for the person I love is not foolish at all. You purse your lips slightly to express your displeasure. That's right. That's right. I understand. I know that all too well. Of course, it's not foolish to do things for your loved ones. But think of your stomach! Promise me that you'll let me be your taste tester next time. You know how much I can eat. It'll be no problem. Yeah. Okay, next time for sure. As he leans slightly toward you, your shadows snuggle up to each other. You both look each other in the eye with only that reflection of each other in your eyes. Time stops here and now when your hearts are so closely intertwined. You fool. Professor Cole switches to the next slide and explains the corresponding legal provisions with the cases on the slide. The students are all making notes. You can hear the rustling of pen tips rubbing against paper. Looking at Luke's bewildered face, you regret it a little. Was it a mistake to invite him to Professor Cole's open class? You gently poke Luke, who is sitting next to you, with your elbow. He looks at you with a puzzled expression. You lower your voice and gesture at him. Luke, are you bored? We can leave through the back door if you're bored. Professor Cole says, let's take a 10-minute break. You are welcome to discuss the case during the break. As soon as the words are said, the classroom grows restless and a lively discussion echoes through the space. Finally, I can talk normally. Luke, are you bored? Should we leave? No, I think it's pretty interesting. Although I've learned quite a bit of legal terms, a formal law class like this is more interesting. Really? You looked confused, so I thought... This little sad/pouty face. It just gets me. It's because I didn't understand the terms and conditions that Professor Cole was speaking of. I didn't want to sign his end-user license agreement without understanding the terms and conditions. I can't believe you would have trouble understanding things. Only a little. By the way, what did you want me to come to this? Why did you want me to come to this class? It's okay. We can call wee woo on me as well. Over my misspeakings. No. I spent most of my life in school, and I often come by for visits after graduating. So I wanted to show you my school. How does it feel to be a law student? There are a lot of regulations to memorize, but I like the analysis of cases and courtroom techniques. They're pretty challenging. Sometimes when I'm I don't know what it is, but sometimes when I'm reading, like my brain just like gets ahead of itself and like inserts a word that I expect to be there or something. I don't know. And I'm only really conscious of it like when I'm reading out loud and I'm like, well, that clearly wasn't the word or even close to it. Like you, more importantly, I get to be your desk mate. Yes, you are now my desk mate. I was a well-behaved student when I was in school. I never whispered or made small talk in class. I certainly never snuck out to make out. Then I have to be a good student too. What do you think about the case the professor just mentioned? It's a real case that happened a few months ago. You and Luke start to discuss the legal text that Professor Cole mentioned. It's as if you and Luke went to the same college and took the same class. What would have happened if you two had really gone to the same college? Looking at Luke's smiling face, you get lost. You get lost your own thoughts. You get lost your own thoughts. Okay, I'm doing it. I'm doing it. The typo police have been officially notified.
想什么呢？
Hey, you good? Sorry, I was just thinking.
同学们，时间到
It's
了。
not as bad. It's definitely not as bad as
来
like
说说
let's
自己的
say
看法吧。
the Egyptian themed event, which felt like the low point to me. With that one had a lot of obvious typos in it. The kind of typos that I felt like spell check would catch. I don't necessarily fault these kind of typos, which are a little, you know, a little trickier to spot, maybe, unless you're reading everything aloud, like painstakingly. So it's not so bad, but I still gotta hold their feet to the fire a little bit, just because it's a running joke here. Time's up. Anyone wants to share your ideas with the class? All right. No comment on that one. The classroom is suddenly quiet again. You and Luke sit straight and look in the direction of the podium. As you're fully immersed in the class, someone gently prods you in the knee.
看，
Check it out. Luke mouths the words as he slides a slip of paper in front of you. Luke! His eyebrows are slightly raised as he smiles. He gestures for you to read it. Are they? You slowly unfold the paper and you almost laugh out loud. There is a male figure and a female figure drawn on it. They are obviously Luke and you. What are they doing? Did you draw a dirty cartoon, Luke? Yeah, unfortunately his drawing skills are not that great. Hence his portraits are both ugly and kind of cute. Seriously, I look much better than this. Do better. You pick up a pen and add some lines to it. You then pass the note back to him. Suddenly the bell rings and the class comes to an end.
嘿，这位同学，上课开小差哦，被我抓到了。
Hey, notice those bells like kind of threw me off. They were kind of dissonant. Hey, no distractions in class. He raises his hand and waves the note. You are welcome to give it back to me if you don't like it.
不行，你送给我就是我的了。
You gave it to me, so it's mine now. The sun shines through the glass, falling onto his collar. Luke, who has a baby face, looks just like a freshman at this moment. The note that he clutches tightly to his... The note that he clutches tightly to has a red heart that you drew. All right. You know, that was about as cute as a lecture could be. The photos on the wall are well arranged. You and Luke hold hands as you go through them one by one. The black and white photos are a vivid record of the world over the past decades. This is amazing. It's like these photos have a soul of their own.
是啊，
Yeah,
这就是摄影的魅
that's the
力吧。
beauty of photography, isn't it?
安妮·温斯顿的经历也是一个不
Annie
可复制的传
Winston's
奇。
life story is a legend.
她默默无闻地做
During
了
her
几十年的
decades in
护工，
nursing, she managed
却
to
保留了数万张
preserve
底片。
tens of thousands of films. Nothing can last a lifetime without an infusion of passion. A lifetime. Only a few people can do that. We might be
说
one
不定
of
就
them,
是其中之一
for。all you know. One of those few people. Right? Luke moves closer to you, silently taking your left hand and interlocks his fingers with yours. You smile at him in
今天的
response.
摄影展有什么特殊的
Zan,
地
what's so
方吗？
special about this exhibition?
难得见你看展
It's
的时
rare
候
to see you
还特意
taking
带上
notes at
镜
an exhibition. Just wanted to learn something.
学习。
Learn?
你
What
打
does it
算
mean?
改行做
No,
摄影师
are
啊
you planning to change your profession? No. I just wanted to... Rosa is a jack of all trades. Rosa is a master of many disciplines. Over the course of trying to impress all of you boys, she has learned a variety of skills. Yeah. So don't worry about Rosa. I just wanted to learn how to arrange the frames to make them look better. Which one do you like the most? They're all pretty good. That's too general. Any specific comments? For example, how about the central axis style we just saw? Is it too serious? Luke is slightly puzzled. Obviously, he has yet to connect the exhibition to the arrangement of the photographs. Why are you suddenly so interested in photo arrangements? I wanted to create a photo wall at your place. We're gonna live together someday, so I want to make it cozier. The secret comes out of your mouth. Before you know it, you turn your face away, trying to hide your red cheeks. Luke tightens his grip on your hand as a blush appears on his cheeks.
我觉得
I
一
like
开
the
始那
first
种
style
组
we saw.
合充满着生活气息
Lovely.， It fits
感觉
as
和家
home
里的布置
decor
相
and
称，
suits our character.
也很适合我们俩。
He answers you seriously, and the base of his ears gets even redder. Okay. Let's go take another look. You're about to lead Luke to the entrance when he gently pulls you back. He looks at you with a gaze that's more sincere than you have ever seen.
你说
You
我
said
们
we
以
would
后要
live
住在一
together.
起，
Luke grabs your right hand as well, and you are now standing face to face.
虽然是简单的一句话
I，know it's just a phrase, but I'm
但我
looking
从心
forward to
我
it.
相信，我们也
And
会
I
有着
believe
平
that
凡
we
而
will
幸
be
福的
able
生
to
活。
have a happy and ordinary life. Looking into Luke's bright eyes, you know that he is the sun that lights up your soul. You lean closer to Luke and smile from the bottom of your heart. I wonder if, you know, I have sort of a tier list basically of the guys. Like I like them all. I like them all in their own ways. But there's some that I definitely prefer. But I know there are people out there who they just have they only have eyes for one, and I wonder if they feel like traitorous when they're doing these birthday events. Or you know, when it puts you in the perspective of like being in a relationship with them, and they're like clicking through it like angrily, like no. Okay, let's get through this. Let's handle a conflict between kids, whatever that entails. Maybe we don't get involved with the kids. Let them sort it out. Listen to Luke tell the story of the ugly duckling with the kids. I'm just picturing him telling this to like some like teenagers, and they're like, cringe, bro. The weather's so nice today. It's fun to hang out with Luke, even if we're just wandering around. Okay, come on. Refresh me. Swing on the swing with Luke. Handling a conflict between these kids and their conflicts. It's a never-ending war. He once again tells the story of the ugly duckling. The swan boat sways to the center of the lake, standing out as the only white object on the lake. The shimmering lake reflects the clouds, and a gentle breeze blows through, creating beautiful ripples. Ripples of hormone energy? We finally got to the center. If I hadn't adjusted the direction in time, we'd still be spinning in place. Recalling the words you said when you first boarded the boat, you are a little embarrassed. Luke, let me do it. I can do this.
真的吗？
Really?
需
You
要
need
帮忙
help?
就说一
Just
声
let me
哦
know.
我不
I
介
don't
意
mind. Thanks, but I don't need help. You hold the steering wheel with one hand and excitedly pedal the boat. It's your first try, but you're confident in your own abilities. But the swan boat doesn't move forward in the route you thought it would. Why is it spinning in place? This can't be. I've turned on the directional control valve. It shouldn't be like this. Oh no, did I pick a broken boat? You anxiously get up to take a look, causing the boat to rock even more. If the boat's a rockin', don't come a knockin'. Thus, falling into Luke's arms. Wait, watch out! Sit still! Luke steadies the steering wheel and helps you get back into your seat. He turns the wheel and signals you to move your feet off the pedals until the swan boat gradually returns to its initial state. He examines you carefully to see if you're hurt. Then he checks the boat.
你没事吧？
Are you okay? I'm okay. Thank goodness you're here with me. We almost got ourselves soaked. Sure, I turned on the directional control valve and had full control of the wheel, but the boat was still spinning in place. Did I choose a faulty boat? Luke shakes his head and gently pats your back.
不是你的问题。
Hey, nice
我
try
查了
there,
一下
champ.
这艘天鹅船是特殊
It's
型
not your
号，
fault.
操作
This
方
boat is
式和
special.
普
Its
通船不
operation
太
is
一样
not quite the same as ordinary boats.
你看，
See this puller
这中
here?
间还有个
It's for
辅助
subtle
方位的拉
directional
杆。
adjustments. Following the direction Luke is pointing at, you see a joystick under the seat.
这种船一般人不多练个几次，
This boat
很难
model
一个人
generally
控
needs
制
more
住的。
practice to maneuver. It is difficult to control alone. I did not expect a swan boat to be so complex. It was too careless of me to simply assume.
看来
Looks like I'm taking the
还
wheel
是需要
again,
像以前一
just
样，
like
由
before.
我来指，
Look, okay, so
我
we
控制方向，
failed to do
然后
one
我们一起
thing.
慢慢往前踩。
Sure. How about I lead us in the right direction and we slowly pedal forward together? Sounds good. We gotta let him have one. We gotta let the guys have one, right? It's my first time on a swan boat. I didn't know it had so many models.
说的也是。
Right, we wanted to take the boat by ourselves when we were
大人
kids,
们
but
都
we
不
were
同意。
not allowed to. We were way too young. We didn't even reach the boat's height, let alone being capable of pedaling the boat forward and understanding these complicated mechanisms.
现在长大了。
You should require a license to pilot a swan boat. We're grown-ups now. So are we here today to make up for our regrets in the past? Luke gives you a sideways glance. There's a little bit of sweat on the tip of his nose. You take out a tissue and naturally reach out to wipe it for him. Sort of. But not just because of that. You shove the tissue into his hand and shake your head. Mysteriously. I love being a mysterious bitch. I've got it. Swans are birds of the Anatidae. The Anatidae family, within the genus Cygnus, they bond for life, which is quite rare in animals. They work and rest together. So to us humans, swans represent loyalty and everlasting love. And you're trying to tell me that we're like swans, right? Guess having a knowledgeable boyfriend isn't always a good thing. You just finished everything I wanted to say. Whoop. A loud whoop comes from not far away. You and Luke immediately turn to look in that direction. Who's whooping it up over there? On the lake, a pair of white swans are combing their feathers with their beaks. Luke, look, swans. This is the first time I've seen swans here. I thought the swans were all done migrating. This is incredible. There is a legend in this park. They say that you will be blessed if you meet a swan while riding in a swan boat. It's specific, but okay. Yeah. And that if it's a couple, their love will last forever. Huh? This swan boat ride has a legend? Are you sure you aren't just making it up? Of course. It's true. I never lie. That's great. So are they here to give us their blessings? They must be. We are now certified by the swans as faithful and lifelong companions. Yes, faithful and lifelong companions. Right. You and Luke look at each other with your hands clasped together. He presses his forehead to yours and rubs the tip of his nose against yours. The slight tingle it brings makes you chuckle. The gentle sun shines on the shimmering lake as the swans hug each other by the neck. Maybe are they fighting? Maybe they're actually in mortal combat. Oh, open your mouth. Luke feeds you a spoonful of cake, of course. The taste of the sweet whipped cream and the slightly tart fruit fills your taste buds. Luke looks at you in contentment, the smile on his lips growing bigger than ever. My turn now. Open your mouth. Luke said he wanted to try your cake, but given the fact that you're both terrible chefs, what? Is that canon? Is Rosa a terrible chef? I'm sure she's still better than Luke. You two made a compromise, feeding each other cake. Luke opens his mouth, waiting for you to feed him. His eyes are closed and he has to let his guard down. Seeing this, you feel a little mischievous. Oh. Instead of doing what he wants, you pick up some cream and smear it on his face. Gotcha, bitch. You are officially a cat now. Top 10 anime betrayals. Before you know it, your face is covered in cream too. All right, this is gonna be the thumbnail. This will be the thumbnail. The thumbnail for YouTube. Oh, my face. Now there are two cats. Just one side won't do. Cats have whiskers on both sides of their face. Luke scoops more cream from the plate and goes for a triumphant strike. Realizing the situation, you wave your hand to signal a truce. Stop, let's not waste food. We didn't order the cake just to play around with it. This is serious.
哎，不许耍赖
You！aren't tricking me. Who knows what will
不然我可不是-
happen if I stop? You were the one who ambushed me. After reaching a truce, you and Luke wipe the cream off each other's faces with wet wipes. He holds the corner of the tissue and carefully wipes your cheeks. You start with his fingers and work your way up. When you are done, you two look each other in the eye. You both laugh when you recall the scene from earlier. We should take a picture to commemorate this.
等一下，
Hold on. Luke lifts your left hand and lowers his head. You then feel a warm, wet touch on your knuckle. The tip of his tongue gently traces your skin. The subtle licking tingles. Your brain abruptly draws a blank. You meet his watery, puppy-like eyes. You can feel the temperature of your cheeks rise, but you don't know what to do.
哦，是奶油。
It's whipped
奶油
cream,
粘
so
上去
it
了。
got on your hand. I
我就-
just... Before you can do anything, Luke has already slipped away to the sink. He has his back to you. You can still see his reddened ears.
那个，我洗把脸。
I need to wash my face. Your palms begin to burn as you recall the scene. Your heart pounds and your mind is flooded with nervous anticipation. Should I wash my face too? Did I make it weird? Oh no, BlueStacks! Hang in there, BlueStacks! No, you were doing so good. No! Okay, here we go. Night has arrived. The warm lights in the house create a cozy and sweet atmosphere. Happy birthday, Luke!
谢谢你。
Thank you. Standing face to face with Luke, carefully, you take out the gift you prepared from your pocket. Cute. He unwraps the gift box and there is a pair of red bracelets laid out inside. The gold beads are braided with snake knots on both sides. The red and golden threads are intertwined to form a perfectly symmetrical pattern. This is the best pair you've braided after many attempts.
这是你做的。
Did you make them? After seeing the red bracelets, Luke's gaze grows extra soft. He slowly strokes the edges of the bracelets, as if admiring a world-renowned treasure. How did he know that I made them? Yeah, it took me some time. The red bracelet blesses one with safety. Since your profession is so unique, you definitely need one. Luke takes your hand into his palm and holds it gently. It's easy to forget sometimes that he's like a super soldier, basically. Luke takes your hand into his palm and holds it
除了
gently.
平安，
I know it also means
和我许下一
a
生一世的
lifelong
约定。
commitment. How did you know? Luke scratches his head awkwardly as his face reddens.
我之前也想过做些什么
He，takes your hand and
所谓的
crushes
无
it
送
to dust. I thought about getting something for you as a souvenir of our love.
看来我们想一块儿去了。
I guess we came up with the same idea. Zan, are you willing to make a lifelong
许
commitment?
下这一生一世的约定吗？
Luke picks up one of the red bracelets and puts it on for you. There is tenderness in his eyes, through which you can see his determination. Yes. The red bracelet seems to carry Luke's body heat, causing the temperature to rise where it touches your skin. Under Luke's expectant gaze, you pick up the other red bracelet and slowly put it on for him. You are my one and only. Take care of yourself for me. This birthday is not only to commemorate the past and record the present, but also to look into the future. We'll be here for each other, always and forever. Maybe it's because Luke cares too much about you, or maybe it's because he's been through too much danger. He always tries to protect you and keeps all the bad parts to himself. But you don't want to be the one being protected all the time. You want to stand by his side and walk alongside him. You are partners and lovers who should support each other and be there for each other till the end of time. You look straight into his eyes. He freezes, utterly dumbfounded, stun-locked.
你
You are truly, truly... His hand gently brushes your cheek. His voice gets deeper, and he leans closer to you.
我的华生，
My Watson, my love.
你
You are my future. You close your eyes and wrap your arms around his waist, just like what your frantically beating heart is telling you to do. In the next second, his soft, cool, and moist lips are on yours. He holds you even tighter, and his burning body... Oh God, his lips are cool, but his body's burning. His burning body heat ignites the fire in your heart. His hand gently brushes your cheek, breaking your jaw. The red bracelets you both wear will protect the relationship and ensure that you two will never part until another boy's birthday. Oh, okay, good shit. All right. We did it. Luke's bedroom. Let's go. Here we go. Thank God it's not that other sweater. Oh, here we go.
因为有你在，我才会觉得诞生于世。
Oh
是值
shit,
得庆幸的
y'all.
事。
Yeah. That was pretty early. Oh my God. Hell yeah. Thank you, Senja. Good shit. We did it. Dark Swirl. All right. Hell yeah. I can't wait to play through the story here. Yeah, let's get into it. The show is about to start in 15 minutes. The banquet hall looks fantastical, with the wandering guests' accessories glittering under the dazzling lights. I heard the show has always been a trendsetter, so its tickets are always hard to nab. A client of my firm gave me one out of goodwill, but it really is wasted on me. You wander through the hall. All the little bursts of conversation that you keep hearing sound completely alien to you. It's like Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas? In Stellas? Right now, you're in no mood to catch on. Instead, you try dialing Luke's number again. Still no answer. You sigh, inadvertently recalling what he said before leaving. What was that? Huh? You asking me to stay at your place? What kind of game consoles does Luke have here? Hold up. Look at this fucking sweet setup here. Luke nods, looking around the room.
家里的生活用品应该都有
Yeah, the
备
daily
齐。
necessities should all be already here. As for the sheets and covers, I've also had them washed and changed.
如果还有什么需要，你待会儿告
If
诉
there's
我就
anything
好。
else you need, just let me know.
哦，对了，备用
By
钥
the
匙我
way,
多配了几
I've
把，
got you spare
记
keys.
得放一把
Just
备
remember to
用锁，
leave one in your
这样就
office
不用担心忘带
so
钥
you
匙
can
进
get
不
in
了
if you
门了。
forget your keys. He has arranged everything thoroughly, leaving no room for negotiation. You suddenly have a bad feeling about this. What's with all this? Even if I forget my keys, wouldn't you be around to open the door for me? Luke's gaze shifts away a bit, then focuses back on you apologetically.
抱歉，因为特殊任务，
Sorry, I have to leave
接下
for a
来我
while
要出
on
差
a
一段时间。
special mission.
我家的地址向上级部门报备过，
Black
安
Ops
保措施比
shit.
较完善，你住在这里
Wet
我比较放
works
心。
shit. I've registered my address with the NSB and the security wait.
稍微
Stop,
忍耐一
wait.
下吧。
The security measures here are pretty sound, so I'll feel more at ease if you stay here. Look at this. Genshin could never with this story review. Maybe someday. Just bear with it for a bit, please. Up until his leaving, Luke seems to think that all you have to bear with will be the inconvenience of a sudden change in living conditions. That's not actually the case, though. It won't get through as expected. I'm accidentally clicking through these. I wonder how his mission is coming along and when he'll be back. You can't help but sigh. These thoughts and worries that leave you at such a loss just keep intensifying these days. You look towards the table, where a package that just arrived the other day sits. Who sent this package, and why did they send it to Luke? Luke should be fine, right? The unopened box occupies just under half the table. Okay, it's marked with a big belongings on one side. Okay, okay. After several times of the line failing to connect, you put down your phone and decide to take a seat first. An unfamiliar voice suddenly calls out to you from behind.
打扰了，小姐，我刚才无意间看到你兜兜转转，似乎有些手足无措。
Excuse me, miss. I just noticed that you've been wandering for a while. Are you lost?
如果不介意的话，
If you don't
不如就
mind,
来我们那里落座吧。
why don't you come and join us over
我
there?
们的位置是看台旁
We're
的
sitting in the
VIP 位，
VIP seats
完
right
全可以
behind,
更
right
加
beside
近
the
距离地
stage,
欣赏到
which
待
will
会的
certainly
展品。
offer a better view of the show later. Huh? Sorry, A well-dressed man is standing in front of you, and you're about to decline his abrupt offer. When you inadvertently look toward where his gaze is pointed, everybody's out with their gaze tonight. You bite back all your words. How could that be? The person sitting there seems to be Luke.
既然小姐不说话，
Can I
那我
take
就
your
姑且
silence
当作
as
是默许
assent
了。
for now, miss?
啊，
What is going
对了
on? Yes,
差点
I
忘记
nearly
做自我
forgot to
介绍。
introduce myself. He courteously hands you a name card. His smile is kind, but somehow it sends a slight chill down your spine.
我叫潘明浩，是一位名
I'm
不见经
Bright
传的商
Padden.
人。你可以
Bright,
和大家
Bright
一样
Padden.
叫我
A
潘。
businessman who's still struggling to make a name for himself. You can just call me Bright. That's the name I'm trying to make for myself. Okay, Bright. That's like a dipshit rich boy name if I've ever heard one. I thought you had kind of a sexy voice, but maybe I'm rethinking that. No, he then guides you to the seats near the stage. The booth is spacious, but there's only one person seated. The others standing there in the black suits seem to be bodyguards.
Raven，你瞧我把谁带过来
Raven?
了？
Oh shit, Hawkeye crossover? Oh wait, no, wait, never mind. Luke is Raven.
如果我没看走眼的话，
Raven is
你
Luke's
刚才
code
就时
name.
不时在注意
If
着
I'm
这
not
位小姐
mistaken,
了。
you were looking over at this lady
俗话
earlier.
说得好，
Meetings
相
are
遇
all
就是
fated,
缘。
as they say.
既然
And
机
as
会难
this
得，
sort of chance is
不如
hard to
大家
come
就
by,
认
how
识
about
一
we
下
all
吧。
get to know each other? Raven. Luke said he had to leave for a mission. Does that mean he's now in the middle of... Yeah. Luke reclines on a couch. He throws you and Bright Padden a glance, frowning. So we've wandered into the middle of his undercover operation. His eyes are devoid of smiles when your gazes meet. All you see is an unfamiliar indifference mixed with a restrained ferocity. For a moment, you aren't even sure if the person in front of you is really Luke.
这就不必了。
I'm actually pretty hyped for this. Luke is like gonna beat some ass in the middle of this like formal party. Is that what's gonna happen? No need, Bright.
她本来就是我的女人。
She's my woman to
我们互
begin
相
with.
知
We
根知
know
底，
each other through and
了
through,
解彼此
including
身上的每
the
一处
deepest secrets within us. We have
都这
carnal
样，
knowledge of each other.
还需要重新
Is there
认识
really a need for us to refamiliarize ourselves with each other? Exclamation points. Luke looks at you and Bright Padden with a smirk. His tone sounds sassy. Not just you, but Bright Padden. Well, we always have to refer to him by his full name. Also takes a while to respond.
哎呦，
Oh
原
my.
来你们
So
真
you
的
do
认
know
识
each
啊
other.
我就说瑞文少爷平常应该见
I
惯
know
了各
Mr.
色美女。
Raven's probably
如
used
果
to
不是
seeing
关
all
系匪
sorts
浅，
of beauties.
应该不会
If
格
it's
外
not someone
关注。
special to him, then he wouldn't be paying much attention.
不过话又说回
Mr.
来，
Raven.
既然认识，怎么不
Please,
早点
Mr.
说出来
Raven
呢？
was my
表
father.
情这么沉重做什么？
Then again, since you know each other, why didn't you say so earlier? And what's with that long face, Raven? Bright Padden looks over to Luke, then stares at you meaningfully. Well, as long as it's meaningful. That's because, while you're trying to make up an explanation, Luke suddenly rises from his
潘哥，
seat. Cut it
你
out,
这不
Bright.
是明知故问
Enough
吗？
of your fucking bullshit.
看到自己的女人和别人挨得这么近，
No one
换
will
谁
be
都不会
happy
高
to see
兴。
their woman being that close to someone else. Don't you think?
况且，
Besides, with that, Luke strides toward you, squeezing Bright Padden away? Oh, I thought I was gonna get squeezed. No. Abruptly making an intimate move. Oh? Oh, shit. Okay, we are getting squeezed, y'all. You feel a tug at your waist before you stumble forward and find yourself leaning against his chest. An unfamiliar... Oh, I'm ruining the moment. An unfamiliar, cool, and elegant scent lingers around your nose. As you cling to his shoulders, his muscular body, under the well-cut suit, still gives you a familiar feeling.
况且
Besides, we had a little tiff between us, didn't we? The hand on your waist simultaneously tightens, bringing about an overbearingly intense feeling that makes you tremble. Is Luke hinting at me? Yeah, play along. You quickly get into your role and snuggle into him, all smiles. You left without a word and didn't answer my calls or reply to my messages. I thought you were seeing another woman again, so I tried to sneak up on you. Please don't be mad, okay?
哦，
It feels like we're playing Yakuza again. I didn't know you loved me that much. A teasing smirk appears on his face. You'd never expected to hear that from him. The rising tone at the end of his words sends your heart racing. Of course, I love you. You hear an almost inaudible sigh from him. That would be crazy if the first time you told him you love him is like in the middle of this sort of like sting operation roleplay. The smile on his face disappears. He begins to reproach you, but his eyes are fixated on Bright Patton. What were you doing just now with Bright? I saw it all, you know. Bright Patton hurries to explain.
哎呀，
No, no, Raven. It isn't like what you saw. There's no need to dwell on such trivial matters. Please, Raven, don't hurt him. I hope it isn't. Anyway, I don't want to see this happening again. I do respect you as a senior, and we're good friends, but you know me. I am a possessive person, especially about women I'm with.
我明白。
I understand. It was my fault this time. My apologies.
严重了。还有，你也是。
No need. As for you, Luke tightens his arm around you.
既然口口声声
Since you
说
love
爱
me，as much as you say, then don't you dare betray me, you hear?
都
I do not want to experience a top 10 anime betrayal. It is only when you mumble a yes does Luke release the hand around your waist. Oh my. And the moment he turns back to his seat, he shoots you a glance, signaling for you to play along. I must cooperate so that I don't get in his way. You glance at Luke and he beckons you forth.
过来坐吧。
Come and sit. Ooh, I do like this outfit. I do like this outfit. Is this available in the shop for $14.99? Let's continue reading the story, why not? As the show starts, Bright Patton instructed the people to bring over some expensive wine. He excitedly urges Luke to, quote-unquote, taste the wine with him. Wait, what are the quotes for? Is entirely ignorant of the exhibits of the show.
来，瑞文，再来一杯。
Come on, Raven, one more glass. Maybe he just means, okay, so he's saying we should taste the wine, quote unquote. But what he really means is we should drink it all. We should fucking drain this bottle. He motions to the waiter who refills Luke's glass, then dismisses all the bodyguards. He swirls the wine in his goblet. Y'all, this is the titular dark swirl. He swirls the wine in his goblet, his smile deepening as he looks over you and Luke. See all those flashy things on stage? It's actually ironic that my shady goods just came in with them, my shady ass goods. Raven, it took me a lot of effort to get them in here. You can't be stingy with your offer. Oh, are you trying to bid
哥
up
这
the
是在趁
price?
机抬价吗？
Gasp. Goods? Is this what Luke's mission is about? Why is he saying all this in my presence? Is he trying to probe? Because all you need to do is ask.
毕竟这是场铤
After
而
all,
走险
this
的
disc
交易。
is risky enough
无论
and
多少
deserves
钱
whatever pay I can get.
说起来，
By the way,
你就
aren't
不
you
好奇
curious
我
about
将
where
它
I've
们安置在
placed them? Bright Patton looks at you and Luke almost scrutinizingly. Every bit of air where his cold gaze sweeps feels icy. You manage to act cool while your brain works in overdrive to figure a way out. What should you do to not arouse his suspicion? Let's listen nonchalantly. Yes, that's whatever you say for you. That's whatever you say it is. You focus on acting nonchalant. Yeah, I'm acting extremely nonchalant here. Noticeably nonchalant. While Luke drains his glass of wine at once, he tosses the empty glass on the carpet. Wow. Then turns and leans in close to you. No matter where those goods are, they're gonna end up in my hands, aren't they? But I couldn't care less about business right now. Luke grabs tightly onto your wrist, then pins you to the couch. Gasp. He leans down slowly amid the boisterous music of the hall. With his breath of hot and humid air comes his low whisper in your ear. Resist. Sanity takes over. Oh, and you brace your hand. My sanity meter is refilled. You brace your hands against his chest, trying to push him away. Now isn't the time for that. But unlike how it usually goes, he still clamps down on you no matter how hard you resist this time. I didn't know Luke was this strong. Don't tell me you're drunk, Raven. We're a public place after all. Don't go too far, lest it draws unwanted attention. Not that I have any moral issues with what you're doing right now. I just don't want it to blow up our spot. Bright Patton gives Luke a kind reminder he can't sit by and watch anymore as more and more eyes start looking your way, aroused. Luke snorts dismissively. I am not drunk. Sure you aren't. He beckons to the black-suited bodyguards standing in the distance. These exhibits are really nothing to see. Take Mr. Raven upstairs and make sure he gets a good rest. Not only the first floor hall of the hotel, but all the rooms upstairs have been booked up by the sponsors of the show. Apparently, the rooms are reserved for distinguished guests coming from afar. Looks like that man named Bright is no average person. As you watch the bodyguards retreat from the room, you are about to ask about the entire situation. Excuse me? What the fuck is going on? Luke suddenly gives you a hard stare, cutting you off before you can speak. Loosen my tie for me. He sounds like he's giving you a signal, putting you on edge again. You walk over and hold his tie when he leans down towards your ear. I checked the floor mirror in the corner when we came in. It's a two-way mirror. Two-way mirror. That means, although it looks like a ubiquitous everyday mirror on this side, it is fully see-through to the neighboring room. Voice down. We don't know if there's anyone eavesdropping here. Wait a second. The floor mirror? Maybe I'm misunderstanding. Nerves make you tug hard at Luke's tie, pulling him closer. Easy, easy. You're strangling me. Sorry. Luke gives a chuckle. He clasps his hand over yours, his fingers dexterously loosening the tie. Don't worry, I'm fine. What do I do now? Try making some moves on me, or else they'll get suspicious. Yeah, right. You know that Luke isn't going overboard with his request. Based on how he acted earlier in the hall, it would be strange if you two just chatted while sharing the same room, let alone when one of you is tipsy. But even though you rationally know what to do, will there really be someone watching on the other side of the mirror? Oh. How do I feel about that? You lift your slightly shaking hand and loop it around his neck. You can feel Luke tremble as your fingernails brush over the nape of his neck. At such a close distance, his eyes seem to be tinged. His eyes are tinged with passion. There's a little bit of passion in them. A peculiar emotion mixed with nervousness floods your heart, making you forget what to do next. Let me lead. Huh? Luke carries you over to the normal-looking floor mirror. It's perfectly normal-looking. This floor mirror. I don't know what they mean by floor mirror. Can I Google this? I'm picturing a... Okay, it's like a stand-up... Okay, it's like a mirror, like a kind of a mirror, like stand-up mirror, like leaning against. Well, I would call this a full-length mirror. That's the term I would use. Yeah, yeah. Luke carries you over to the perfectly normal-looking floor mirror in the corner. He places his palm behind your head and presses your back against the cold, smooth mirror. This way, no one will be able to see your face, aside from me. Okay, whatever. Just leave the rest to me and listen to what I say. Luke leans towards your ear. The alcohol-tinged air and the wet, warm, and soft touch around your neck send you elsewhere, beyond all tension and fear. You have left your body completely. In this alluring atmosphere, what should have been serious whispers is thrown into disarray. Disarray by your breaths. Once the show ends, I'll find an opportunity to get you out of here. There are a lot of reporters in the hall. Try to stay in the spotlight, so Bright Patton won't be able to play any tricks on you. There are police waiting outside. When you see a cab with the license plate AB065, hail it. It will take you home safely. What about you? I'm still on my mission. We've been watching Bright Patton for years. We've got to make him give the game away this time, or else all our efforts will be wasted. Will it be dangerous? At the thought of how dangerous it might be, the box of belongings that arrived the other day suddenly comes to mind. You fail to ask the question that you already know the answer to. I'm not with you on this. Don't be stubborn. Luke's arm around you tightens a bit. His sharp, canine teeth. Oh, he is truly our puppy boy. His sharp canine teeth graze your neck as if in a warning. You feel a tingling prickle that spreads down your spine. I can't leave in this situation. Seeing Luke hesitate, you seize the chance to turn the tables. Before he can respond, you push him down onto a couch in a blind spot, your hand tight on his tie. Yeah, what do you think about that? I think Bright Patton is a very wary person. He kept trying to probe us earlier. You lean down and whisper to him. If you send me off now, it won't fit with how you acted before, and he'll definitely become suspicious. Since this mission is so important, let me stay here so I can partially handle the suspicion he has on you. And if anything happens, you can pin all the blame on me and get out of it safely. You hear Luke's breathing coming out harsher. You think you've been putting too much weight on him, so you straighten yourself up only to find his eyes a little red. You don't know what you're saying. To lighten the mood, you perk yourself up and smile. Feeling too touched, are you? Don't laugh. Luke shoots you a rarely seen glare. Then you hear sounds outside the door, and soon Bright Patton allows himself in. Mr. Raven, the bodyguards told me there were peculiar things happening in the room. Are you all right? Oh my. I'm so sorry. Bright Patton takes notice of Luke's reddened eyes as well as the position you are both in. He chuckles knowingly. I see. We're smoking a little bit of weed, are we? I didn't know that Mr. Raven has this side to him. Bright, shut the fuck up if you don't know what to say. Under the guise of an act, or perhaps something else, Luke glowers toward the door. Get out. Yes, I'll get out now. I'll leave you two alone. You should stop having fun for now. Come with me and bring her. Some rats seem to have gotten into the show. We have to get out of here now. Got it. Bright Patton's villa is located on the remote outskirts of Stellus, surrounded by high mountains and rugged roads. It's evident that this place is well suited for shady activity and serves well as a hideout. I wonder how Luke is doing now. Heading to the conference room downstairs in a moment to chat with Bright Patton. We must always say his full name, and we're going to dispel his misgivings. Wait for me in the room and don't go anywhere. He stuffs a mini pager into your hand. This is Yakuza! It is the same game, literally. If something happens while I'm gone, just press the button. I'll get the signal and come over immediately. So trust me. Don't be afraid, okay? You sigh, growing more and more agitated as the clock on the wall ticks by. Oh, I can hear it ticking away. Just then you hear a few faint knocks on the door. Who could it be at a time like this? You hold on to the pager in your pocket and edge closer to the door. We're edging. Who is it? Is something the matter?
Shh, 小声点，
Down.
别被听
I'm
到
with
了。
Mr. Bright, and there's something I need to discuss with you.
有些事儿要
Please
跟你
open
商
the
量。
door. No,
打开下门。
stranger danger. Don't open that door, Rosa. Bright. Why would he suddenly send someone over here while Luke isn't around? You hesitantly put your hand on the door handle without opening it. Let's doubt his identity. Raven isn't here. If you're really with Mr. Bright, then why did you come to me
那
alone?
当然是因为有些话不方便被他们听到。
That's because some words are better unheard by them.
我相信你是个聪明人。
We hit him with
应该
the
不会
yeah,
错失
we hit
这
him
次
with
机
the
会的。
LA Noir doubt. I believe you to be a smart one, and you wouldn't want to miss out on this opportunity. Oh, what on earth is he up to? We might as well let him in. After much thought, oh yeah, much. After very little thought, you cautiously open the door. The person in front of you is rather young looking. He claims that his name is Blake, and that he's one of those working for Bright Patton, and the reason he's here is to seek cooperation. What do you mean?
听说你和 Raven 少爷的关系
I
匪
heard
浅，
you're close with
而
Mr.
我正好
Raven,
经常帮潘哥做事，
and I'm also
可以
able
掌
to
握
get
一
some
些特
special
殊情报。
information as I work for Mr. Bright.
如果我们里
If
应
we
外
work
合，
together, we
就
can
能神
secretly
不知鬼
snatch
不觉的
those
顺走。
goods.
等到脱手后，咱们就五五
After
分
we
赃，
get away,
金
we'll
盆
split
洗
it
手，
50-50,
后
call
半
it
辈
quits,
子
and
都
live
可以
out
不
the
用
rest
愁
of
了。
our lives without worry. You want me to betray Raven? Blake gives you a cheeky grin. A
那
young
种大少爷
master
不
like
好
Mr.
伺候
Raven
吧？
must be hard to
你
please.
要是喜欢
If you
刺
feel
激的，
adventurous, you can
等
find
有
more
钱
people to play
多的
with
是人陪
when
你
you
玩
have
不是吗？
money, right? Wait, what? What are you implying? To sway you, Blake even holds out his phone in front of you with a smug wink.
放心，
Don't worry, I
我可是
came
有备。
prepared. Is this surveillance footage?
对，是我趁着潘哥不注意，
Yes,
偷
I
偷
installed
装
it secretly while Mr.
说不定能
Bright
窃听到
wasn't
一些
paying
有用
attention.
的情报。
Maybe we can hear something useful later. You look at the phone screen. The surveillance camera seems to be placed in the corner of the room, facing the couch, giving you a full view of their conversation.
什么时候把
Let's
东
not
西
waste our time here. When are you gonna bring the stuff over, Bright?
啊，快了
Soon,
快了，
soon, don't worry.
也不知道明里暗里
Those
多
goods
少
are
人
worth a lot of
虎视
money.
眈眈
The
地盯着
shipment,
呢
the shipment alone took me a lot of effort. Who knows how many eyes are on
所以
them?
我得挑些放心的人选，
So I have
才
to
能
pick the
保
right
证他
people
们
to
在
make
运输
sure my
途中。
goods will be
你就不
will be
怕
safe
放
in
久了被
transit.
人调包？
Aren't you afraid of others swapping them out while you're away?
哎，怎么会呢？
Impossible. You know about the 7 Crossing warehouse in North
想要进
Stellis.
去可
It's
难
hard
得
to
很。
sneak into. Do tell. Upon hearing the name of the location, Blake shoots you an excited glance.
在7道口仓
7
库，
Crossing warehouse.
想进去
It's
确实
indeed
有
hard
些
to
困
sneak in. Perhaps we can wait until
或许，
Mr.
等那位大少爷
Raven
得
gets
手
his hands
后，
on
我
those
们再
goods
调
and
包也
swap
不
them
迟。
out then. While Blake's busy calculating his plan of action, you get a strange feeling gnawing at your gut. According to Luke, Bright Patton is an extremely wary person. How could he possibly keep someone like Blake, who would easily scheme against him, by his side? Could he be testing me again? While you're considering your next course of action, something in the surveillance footage suddenly catches your attention.
说起来，
Speaking of
钱
which, do
准
you
备
have
够
the
了
money
吗？
prepared? Don't try to
可别
swindle
放
me.
心吧，潘哥，
Don't worry, Bright. With how
按照
close
父
you
亲
were to
生
my
前与
father
你的
while he was
交情，
alive, I would and could
我就算骗了
swindle
所有
anyone
人。
but you.
唉，你父亲确实是可
Alas, it
惜
was
了。
indeed unfortunate with your father.
那次也不知道
Who
是
knows
谁向对
who,
家走漏了
who
消息，
knows who was
害得
it
他被
that tipped off his opponents, so he ended up being dead? Luke looks distantly out the window. His eyes are deep as a dark abyss, as a dark swirl, if you will, in the slightly blurred footage.
总有一天，
One day, I will make them all pay the price. It's time to pay the price. Bright Patton sighs sympathetically. I heard that you've been doing well abroad over the years. If your father was still
我的
around,
父亲还
you
在，
wouldn't have had to
本来
return to
不必
Stellis
这
so
么快回
early.
魏明市。明明小时
I
候
remember
是
you
个
were such a
阳光开
cheerful
朗的孩
child
子，
before, but now I
但现
can't
在的
even see
眼
through
神
your eyes.
却连我
What a
也常
pity.
常看。
没什么好
You're
可
a
惜的。
stone cold psycho these
这都
days,
是命。
Raven. There's nothing to pity me for. It's all fate.
不过既然
If it can get twisted, it can also be rewritten, right? Sure. How did Bright Padden know Luke as a child? The content of their conversation is a bit different from what you know, but it does match up with most of the facts. Luke, across from the camera, wears an obscure expression, his hands clasped together. You stare at the phone screen, which looks just like a Klein bottle. A Klein bottle? Wait, hold up. For a second I thought that was like, are you talking about a type of alcohol? What is a Klein bottle? Oh, interesting. Oh, yeah, I've seen this before. It's like a crazy looking, kind of like glass sculpture. I've seen this before. Okay, so a Klein bottle that has blurred boundaries between inside and outside. However,
如果中途发生了什
if
么事，
something happens while
只要
I'm
按下按
gone,
钮
just press the button.
我就会
I'll
立
get
刻
the
收到消
signal
息
to
卡，
come over
所以相信我，
immediately. Just press
别害怕。
the boyfriend button. Trust me, don't be afraid, okay? No matter what, all I can do is to trust him. Blake seems to have taken your silence as hesitation before assent. He pulls in close with a cheeky smile, slinging his arm over your shoulders, which almost makes you
你就
sick.
别犹豫了。
No need to
跟
hesitate.
着
You
我
won't
做
lose
事，
anything by
绝
working
对不
with
会让。
me. You try to choke down your discomfort while reaching into your pocket and pressing the button on the pager. To not arouse the suspicion of Bright Padden, who has been wary enough, you have to put what's between you and Blake on the table. Hence, with all your strength, you let out a scream that pierces through the whole villa. Don't touch me! Luke arrives fast before Blake could even react and pull away from you. He strides up, but then, as if thinking of something, he halts and stares at you and Blake with
这是怎
displeasure.
么回事？
What's going on here? Seeing Bright Padden at Luke's heels, your mind races with the right reaction you should make right now. Let's really ham it up. Let's play up the drama of it all. Raven, love to refer to my lover by their code name. He just made a move on me. You spring up and throw yourself into Luke's arms as Bright Padden watches. You were planning to put on an act, but after recalling what you've experienced, you can't help but actually shed some tears.
他碰你了，
Did he touch you? Yes. Perhaps to stay in the character of Raven, Luke maintains an aloof attitude, but his actions are perceptibly gentler. He holds you comfortingly and speaks slowly with his head slightly
其他
lowered.
地方有受伤吗
Are？you hurt anywhere? No.
没受伤就好。
Good that you're fine. Then, before Bright Padden could intervene, Luke proceeds to kick Blake down to the ground. Then Luke puts one foot on Blake's shoulder blade, sending the collapsed man screaming.
大哥，救救我！
Mr. Bright, help me!
哎，这
Say my full name.
差不多就可以了。
Raven, that's enough now. Blake did it for a reason.
他最好真的有苦衷。
He'd better have a good
先前
reason.
在秀场发
That's
生的
my
事，
wife, god
我是
damn
看
it.
在潘哥你的面子
What
上
happened earlier at
才
the
既往
show,
不咎
I can let it go for you,
Then
Bright, but
Jake's-
this time is different. Troubled, Bright Padden looks at Blake on the ground, ultimately giving in. And could you
那不如就
let it go again
再
for
开
my
一回
sake?
我的面子吧。
Actually, I was
这
the one
件
who
事
told Blake to
是
do
我
what
指
he
示
did.
二黑做的。
哦，
Pardon? Bright Padden ends up revealing his inner thoughts. For having doubts about your identity, he sent Blake over trying to get your scheme out. I hope I'm the sole person Bright Padden has suspicions of. You take a quick glance at Luke. He's reclining against a couch, his foot still pressing down hard on Blake with an inscrutable expression on his
怀疑
face.
这种情绪算是人之常情。
It's nothing wrong to have doubts, so I can fully understand.
你能这么
I'm
想就
relieved
好
you。think that way. Luke beckons you to sit on his lap. Ooh.
所以我也在
Well, I have doubts too. Was someone trying to make
有人是不是仗着
mischief on top of
试探为由？
attempting to probe around?
毕竟潘哥你也
Right.
知道，
You know me. I've been
我
away
这个
from
人从
home
小
since
就
I
背
was
井
little,
离乡，
so I've always
难
been
免会
in
比较
want
缺
of
爱。
love and have grown into the
导致
petty
有一
man
些
I am now. At least you're self-aware. He pats your back in a placating manner while putting more pressure on his foot. He's got his hands full. Gentler! Gentler! It looks like Luke won't let Blake go easily. He leisurely inflicts upon the man punishments that do little harm but are enough to be a deterrent. Oh, don't threaten me with a good time. Bright Patton, who knows he and his henchmen are in the wrong, says nothing else. All he does is stomp slightly in frustration. Finally, his phone rings to break the situation. What did you say? Bright Patton picks up the phone, his face twisting even uglier than before. Why would the police investigate that place? Don't need to worry about the warehouse. Let the officers do their job. Keep an eye on them. If anything happens, call me. Warehouse? Is it the 7 Crossing warehouse where he said the goods were placed? I have no doubt. While you're pondering, Luke stops torturing Blake and looks coldly at Bright Patton. Did the police find those goods, Bright? No, don't worry. The 7 Crossing warehouse is just a decoy. The real ones aren't there, so they won't be able to find anything. If so, then were you just testing me earlier by telling me the fake address? Faced with Luke's blunt question, Bright Patton lets out a few awkward laughs. Well, not really. It's just always good to be cautious. Careful, your caution may cost you more than you gain. Has it ever occurred to you that even though the address is fake, it's true that there must be someone who has leaked it out? Do you have any idea who it was, Bright? Luke presses forward without giving him much time to think. Compared with flies that are drawn to light, cockroaches hidden in the dark should be harder to deal with. Rather than wasting your time probing us, you'd better watch out for your own men, Bright. He's like, but y'all are just so cute. You're such beautiful people, I can't help but be obsessed with you. For sure. Bright Patton feigns composure, but the droplets of sweat on his forehead completely expose him. He's exposed in 4K. For him, having no suspects could mean everyone is suspicious. Hurry and bring those goods over here. If anything goes wrong again, don't you ever think about getting another penny out of me. Okay. I'll get to it right now. Just wait a little more. Soon, Bright Patton hurries off with Blake, leaving the room in peace. Who was it that leaked the address to the police? Could it have been? Luke nods under your gaze. He stretches tiredly. The dark expression on his face vanishes. He returns to his usual self that's most familiar to you. I was stalling for time earlier so we could receive the call right in front of us. At such critical times, I just needed to heap up a sense of urgency for him to have no time to suspect anyone and just follow my ideas. Sounds like brainwashing. Kind of. It's pretty much the dirtiest trick I could ever think of in my life. However, Luke's explanation makes you feel anything but relieved. She's brainwashed. It's a bit extreme. It's just, we're just lying. Luke's explanation makes you feel anything but relieved. You feel like you have a tune buzzing around your head that's already full of noise. Relax a little. Bright Patton is now in disarray and will pay every attention to those goods, not us. Okay. Don't worry, I checked earlier. There are no eavesdropping or surveillance devices here. Is there something else on your mind? The bedroom where you and Luke are now has a semi-open bathroom, perhaps to the delight of the host. Okay. After dropping the question, Luke takes a towel and wets it in the sink, leaving you adequate buffer time as the water runs. I heard parts of the conversation you just had with Bright Patton through the surveillance camera. He watches back, mustering the courage to speak out the doubts in your mind. The most crucial thing about the content of their conversation is, how did Bright Patton know Luke as a child? Waiting until you're finished, Luke turns off the faucet and walks over to you with the towel. Rather than replying to your question, he holds up your hand and puts the warm towel around it. Covering yourself with a warm towel can relieve you of stress and fatigue. Do you feel better now? Yeah. I'm sorry I didn't pull him off right away when I came in. towel gently rubs over your arm as he moves, passing the mild heat through the skin to the flesh beneath. You're momentarily distracted, but still manage to instinctively shake your head. Normally, what a person fears most is what they think of most. So for Raven, who is possessive and hates to be betrayed, doubts are naturally his first reaction. Bright Padden was there right then, so it was right for you not to pull Blake off.
我就知道你肯定会这么
I
说。
knew you'd say that. Luke smiles in resignation, halting his hand's movements.
除了手之外，
Where else did he
他刚才还
touch
碰你
you
哪里了？
aside from your hand? Wouldn't you like to know? My neck and my shoulder, I suppose. He thought his pitch was successful, so he got carried away, and the latter half of your sentence get stuck. Okay, minor wee woo. Get stuck in your mouth with his sudden actions.
既然你回答了我的问题，
Now that you've answered my question, it's my turn to answer yours. He leans over, gently pushing aside your hair. The towel caresses your neck, along with its wafting steam. With the movement of his head, you begin to experience an unusually pleasant sensation, enough to dispel the unpleasant experience before. Luke slowly explains to you the whole story.
有句话是这么说的：
Half-truths
绝
often
佳
make
的
for a
谎
great
言
lie,
都是半
as
真
they
半
say.
假的。单独的谎
A
言
lie
一
may
戳
be
即
easy
破
to tell, but when
但
it's
当它
mixed
与
up
真
with
实
the
情
truth,
况
people
夹
will
杂在
find
一
it
起的时
confusing.
候，
He's giving us
就
his
能很
pro
容易迷
Among
惑
Us
对方。
strats. Half-truths? Are there also some truths in the lies Luke has been telling all along? So it's true that you've been away over the years, but you were staying in the capital, not abroad. As for your father, Luke takes over as he senses your hesitation on this sensitive topic.
那位父亲的情况都是
The
真
story
的，
about that
只不过
father is real, the
他的真实
Fasha,
身份
but he
是
was
我的一个
actually a
前辈。
senior of mine. A senior. Well,
他说
he
自
said
己
he
是
had
孤
no
家寡
family,
人，
so he volunteered to
所
go
以就主动
undercover
申请
near
了潜
Bright
伏在潘
Padden
明浩
and
身
worked
边
for
的
many
人。最
years.
初为了尽可能完善身份，
To complete his
在虚
identity,
构的
he
关系
needed
网
a
中
son
需要一
that
位
was
放
being
养在异
raised in
国
a
他乡
foreign
的儿子。
country as part of his network of relationships.
这种情况下不能随便找
That
普通
wasn't
人
a
来
job
顶
we could
替。
have ordinary
而我
people
当时
do.
恰
I
巧
just
刚
happened to
进国
join the
年
NSB
龄
at
比
the
较合
time,
适，
and I was about the right
于
age.
是我就拜托叔叔阿姨，
I asked your parents to send over a childhood photo of me so he could carry it with him as a reminder of his son. Wait, oh yeah, we're talking about your senior friend.
那张照片
Bright
估计潘
Padden
明
has
浩也
probably
看过
seen
很
that
多次。
photo many times. When the towel massage is over, he folds the towel and pulls away from you. As the heat dissipates, you suddenly feel a coolness that you haven't noticed around your neck and shoulders, as well as a strange feeling of clinginess. You try to concentrate on what Luke has told you, but only a childhood photo was needed. Why did you have to be of the right age?
大概就是为了今天
Yeah,
吧。
maybe, am I missing something too? Probably for the sake of today.
还没做完的事，
I can still
Well,
use
I
this
don't teach
identity
you
to
to
finish what he
teach you
didn't
to
finish. No
Just
matter
like
how
Padden
wary
Hall,
Bright
you
Padden
think
is, he couldn't have seen
think
this
it-
coming. As you recall from their conversation, that father of his has passed away. You suddenly think of the box marked with belongings. Without asking, you now understand why it was sent to Luke.
不过别害怕，
Don't be
这件事
afraid,
快
this will
结
be
束了。
over soon, and I'll
会
get you
让你有
home
事。
safe and sound. Luke gets up to put the towel away. You subconsciously grab his hand. At this moment, all you have on your mind is... You've been telling me not to be afraid, but are you yourself afraid of those dangers
我
you
当然-
face? Of course. Luke turns to you, his nonchalant smile stiffening a little as he notices the teary expression on your face. The rest of his words eventually come out as a sigh.
我当然也会害怕了，
Of course I'm afraid.
但那不是坏事，
But that's not a bad thing.
不仅不是坏
Instead,
事，
it's a very
反而
important
是我
lesson
在后
I've
来的
learned in
训
my
练中
training.
学到的非。
Training. Yeah. Step on me. Although you were not there, you could imagine what it might be like by listening to his account. During the time apart, you often had memories of how he looked before he left. Young, inexperienced, and spirited.
最开始进行训练的时候，
When I first
我
started
常常过于
training, I
拼
often
命，
pushed
不
myself
知道
beyond
下
my
手的轻
limits
重，
and ended up receiving a
为
harsh
此
lesson
曾
from a
经被前
senior.
辈狠狠地教。他说我训练的动力是对
He
自
said
己
that if I
能力不足
undertook
的后悔。
training because I was
这种情绪
regretful
是
of
不
not
对的。
having enough strength, then that would be wrong. Because strength has no upper limit. I would never feel satisfied, and it could go to the extremes as a result. Then what did he think you should do? He said I could let fear drive me in training. For a long time afterward, I didn't understand what he meant and trained in a more aggressive way. And I wore a lot of no fear t-shirts. Oh. At that time, alone and away from home, Luke placed all his untold bitterness in that lonely fearlessness. He had an enviable aptitude, and along with it was the weakness of youth that didn't fit through. That is a side of him that you can hardly see now. Not long after, when I visited a comrade lying on a hospital bed, I saw that he had a bruise on him similar to mine. That was when I understood what my senior meant. Was it a serious injury? No, it was a light one from prior training, one that would heal very quickly. But he ran into an accident during a mission, and when I looked at him under the shroud, I suddenly noticed that light, easily healable wound was left branded forever on his body. So you felt fear at the time. Bitterness permeates Luke's voice, but that's not all. He tells about his youthful past from an adult's view in a tone that's imbued with maturity and experience. That was the first time I truly knew what fear was. I started to fear failure. I feared that you would be sad if something bad happened to me. I had too much that I feared. Ever since then, escaping fear has become my driving force, forcing me to learn to act more cautiously. So that's why he's always been able to do his job with ease. During the time you were not there, he lived with fear and grew into the fearless man that he's now. We maybe got a little clumsy there at the end, but yeah, no, point taken. You look over at Luke, in a blink of an eye, it is almost as if you can see his younger self overlap with his current appearance. I'm ready to see Luke fucking dominate these men. Without thinking, you yank at the towel in his hand. He has no time to let you go and stumbles in your direction. You reach out to catch him. Are you okay? I'm fine. Wait. Yeah. I was like, we reached out to catch him, right? Okay, yeah. I was reading that correctly. He bends down slightly, resting his chin on your shoulder. There comes a slight sigh in your ear, and then a few seconds of silence before he speaks again. I used to think this fear would eventually disappear over time. Because time makes you forget. As they say, over time, you would probably be drawn to someone else and wouldn't feel sad for me. That's fucking nonsense. How could I possibly? Luke chuckles, not letting you go on. That's nonsense. I thought I knew myself, but I didn't even know what I was truly afraid of. Truly. Over time, this fear didn't disappear, but even intensified. So much that it affected my own mental state. Before you can ask about it, you hear something ringing. Luke immediately straightens up and takes an unfamiliar-looking phone from his pocket, the bat phone, his face returning to its usual calm expression. What's the matter? Did something happen? Bright Padden is running about to get things ready. He's probably able to get those goods over before dawn to close the deal. That's great. While nodding his head, Luke suddenly frowns and staggers backward a little. The phone slips out of his hand, falling to the ground. It still shows the bright SMS screen, which looks as white as his face. As white as the Genshin login screen. Luke, are you alright? You rush to catch him as you notice something's wrong. Warg? Warg? This might be my favorite Rosa, like, onomatopoeia. My favorite Rosa sound. Warg? I am Chocobo now? He withdraws the hand pressed on his temple, then gives you an unexpected flick on the forehead. Sometimes that just says it all, right? Sometimes it's just warg, right? Keep it down. Quiet your warging. I'm all right. But it's warging time? Don't worry. It's just the side effects of the drugs. It happens all the time. Drugs? What drugs? The super soldier serum? You see Luke reach out to you again and instinctively close your eyes, but this time your forehead receives no more flicks. He pokes his finger between your furrowed brows and smiles as if nothing's happened. These little actions occur frequently as if to divert your attention, but they're now making you even more vigilant. More frowns. Those drugs are specially developed by the NSB. What drugs? You know I'm not much of a drinker. A few drinks will be enough to get me wasted and start talking nonsense. Oh, lightweight Luke. He's always working on that 8-pack. He's just crushing Michelob Ultras. The least carby beer. the bodybuilder's choice. When I'm on a special mission like this, I take a few pills beforehand to make sure I don't get drunk. I see. Okay. They're not fun pills. It's the opposite. They're anti-fun pills. The side effects are stuff like headaches after 5 hours. Does this condition last long? Luke shakes his head. Nope. I'll usually be fine after a shower and some rest. It's just that this mission is taking a little longer. So it came midway. Kind of an unexpected situation, honestly. A shower. A hot bath would be good for his condition, I suppose. Thinking of this, you look toward the semi-open bathroom in the corner where a wide tub may serve its purpose. Oh. Want to try it? Try what? A little mid-mission bath? Without a reply, you walk straight over and turn on the tub's faucet. What are you doing? Running you a hot bath, obviously. There's still a long way till dawn, and Bright Patton won't be able to get those goods over here anytime soon. Relax a bit now. It'll help you successfully close the deal later. Didn't you say before that 2 people sharing a room and doing nothing together would be suspicious? You ramble on as if to cover up how flustered you feel deep down. So flustered. Luke looks a little surprised at first, but gradually reveals a knowing smile because of your strange reaction. You know the bathroom doesn't have a door, right? Don't worry, I won't peek. Hey, it's not like I'm afraid of being watched by you. He loosens his tie as he speaks. It was just a reminder. Gasp. Luke begins to unbutton his suit. His movements are natural, but you quickly turn around, still feeling awkward. Amid the sounds of fabric rustling and water splashing, hot steam gradually spreads out of the tub. Perhaps because of the rising temperature, your throat feels a little parched. It's getting increasingly stuffy in here. Wonder if Luke's feeling any better. You sit still on the couch with your back to the bathtub, counting the brushstrokes in a painting on the wall. The room is quiet with only the sound of water splashing as Luke changes his position. Some time passes, and then a resounding crash snaps you out of your chaotic thoughts. My chaotic thoughts! Are you okay? The cause of the crash turns out to be a bottle of shower gel that was on the shelf, but it had somehow rolled to the ground. Yep. You don't have the energy to think about how it fell. You feel your mind go blank the moment you meet Luke's gaze. Gaze? Did I miss something? Wait, story review. Yeah, Luke's gaze while he lies on his back in the tub. Neither of you speaks, seemingly out of some tacit understanding. You walk over in a daze. Gaze? No, daze. Picking up a bottle of shower gel and putting it back where it was when he suddenly reaches out and grabs you. The water surges and your back is gently supported. Nearly falling into the tub, you somehow manage to sit on the edge of the tub instead, meeting his eyes, meeting his gaze. Given the circumstances, he's still in his shirt while in the water. What are you doing, Luke? Take it off. The thin and wet fabric clings to his skin, faintly outlining the contours of his body. Are you feeling better? Are you okay? Does your head still ache? It's a lot better. Luke brushes his damp hair aside, lifting his eyes up to meet yours amidst the steam. Even so, you can still tell from his lightly knitted brows that he's still trying to hide his discomfort. A lot better, which means that you're not completely fine. You still feel pain, right? I've just been thinking about what you're truly afraid of, Luke. You fear pain, don't you? Don't worry, my pain tolerance is pretty high. and I'm not that sensitive to pain. Is that so? But I've realized that I get afraid whenever you feel unwell. Before Luke can react, you swipe the towel that lays beside the bathtub. Just like he did to you before, you carefully wipe over his ears and neck, which gradually flush red. What? He reclines slightly, soft sighs escaping his lips and mixing into the splashes of water. Then you repeat the question he asked you before. I heard that if you feel discomfort somewhere, you need to shift your attention elsewhere to relieve the pain. Are you feeling a bit better now?
已经没那么痛了。
Pain is nearly gone. Water drips from the tips of his hair, his voice tinged with the heat of the hot, humid air. You know, tinge might be another favorite word. They're awfully fond of the word tinged.
我也听说，
I've also heard that if one gets stimulated in two different ways, it's easy for those two different sensations to merge into one. What are we talking about, Luke? What are you saying? He tugs at the other end of the towel, forcing you to lean in closer. Some of the water in the bathtub splashes out due to all the movement, adding more steam to your surroundings.
所以为了让以后副作用发作的时候，
So for me to recall these feelings when the side effects occur again in the future,
让我
makes
再
it
加
more
深一下印
impressive.
象吧。
The damp steam billows into your face, making you squint your eyes in a sort of daze. Gaze? No, daze. You reach your hand into the bathtub. As the heat envelops you, you faintly feel the water temperature still rising. There's one more act. This has got to be the last act, right? You and Luke return home safely after the mission. The first thing you do is to help Luke organize the box of belongings left by his senior. There isn't much. Aside from books, it's just one small trinket or another.
前辈他没有家
Yeah, he
人，
didn't have any family. Most of these were just bought for his false
都是为了那个虚假
identity.
身份买
He
的，
rarely got things for
很少真
himself.
正为自。哎，我说你啊，快起
Get
来
up,，don't
别
stay
蹲着
crouched
了。
like that. Luke carries the box over to the table. He looks worriedly at your knee, which is wrapped in gauze. Gaze? No, gauze.
你的膝盖怎么样了？
How's your
还
knee?
会痛吗？
Does it still hurt? It's all right. You saw it when you took me to the hospital, the Pokemon Center. The wound wasn't that bad.
都流血了，
It was
还不
bleeding.
严
Wasn't
重
it。bad enough? He puts on a seldom seen serious face, his eyes brimming with guilt. You follow his gaze down to your own knee that still aches dully. Dully. You feel no regrets about it. No regrets. YOLO. It's the darkest moments before dawn when the arrest of Bright Paddon is made that day. We got him. Seeing no possibility of escape, Bright Paddon suddenly threatens to kill everyone with him by detonating the bombs he has placed in the villa in a few seconds. The stakes are through the roof suddenly. What the hell? What the hell? I'm shook. You instinctively rush over to protect Luke, only to end up tripping and scraping your knee on the corner of a cabinet. My fucking knee! It's been through so much. Under normal circumstances, he would be anxious and sternly scold you for your recklessness. At the time, the situation is really urgent, leaving no time for anyone to retreat, so he says nothing and just holds you tightly in his arms. A villainous laugh. A few seconds drag past, and Bright Paddon, who's being held by the NSB members, laughs out loud. He lulls.
傻呀，刚
How
才的话都
foolish.
是骗你们
I
的
was。just lying.
我这么惜命，
No
怎
one
么可能
cherishes
会做
life
那
more
种
than
事
me. How could I ever do something like that?
不过在最后关头，还真是
I
见
am
证了一出
pro-life.
好戏。
And how you all acted at the last moments of life, it was really a good show to see. You should have seen your fucking faces. I got you good.
Raven，
You did screw
虽然我
me
是被你
over,
骗惨
Raven,
了，
but whatever's going
但
on
你和
between
这
you
女
and
的
this
之间
woman
似乎
doesn't
不
look like a
像你
mere
爱的呀
act. Luke slowly lets go of you, his gaze still on the startling wound on your knee. His face darkens as his body trembles slightly. I'm out of drink, y'all.
潘明浩，
Bright Paddon, with all you've done, you don't seem to cherish your life at all. Luke lifts his leg, and regardless of the discouraging voices around him, kicks Bright Patton to the ground. Get him! Get him, Luke! Get his ass! If there weren't for... Hold on. If there weren't for the others... Oh, we were almost there. We were almost at the end. We were almost at the end. But we gotta call another wee-woo here. If there weren't for the others pulling Luke back, Bright Patton should have been doing worse than lying face down on the floor, face down, ass up, coughing. Patience was never a virtue of yours. Patience was never an option. And your Raven act is just getting me more and more confused. Are you really Raven or not? Either way, that childhood photo wasn't a lie now, was it? I remember you were such a cheerful child before, but now I can't even see through your eyes. What a pity. This is the second... Wait, I missed that. This is the second time he said those words. The first time he spoke to Raven, but this time he spoke to Luke. Luke, it's weirding me out when you keep staring at my leg. Quit it.
说什么呀?
I don't know what you're talking about. Embarrassed, Luke turns around and heads to the kitchen instead. Where are you going?
渴了.
I'm thirsty. Do you want something to drink? No thanks. With a chuckle, you turn your attention back to the books in the box. Yeah, this story's made me awful thirsty too. What's this? As you take them out one by one, you notice a photo peeking out from between the pages of a book. That's the photo of Luke as a child. The little boy holds a bunch of colorful origami flowers, smiling brightly at the camera. It was taken on Luke's 3rd birthday. Is this the one that Luke had sent over to the capital? Why have I never seen it in the albums? You look over the photo. It looks unfamiliar, but you have a faint impression of the bunch of origami flowers in Luke's hands. Back in the old attic, before we did our extreme attic makeover, that night after rummaging around in your old home, you finally find what you're looking for. Oh wait, no, this is our attic. Okay, never mind. You finally find what you're looking for in a storage container. Ah, there it is.
Huh? 有什么了?
What is it? Luke leans over curiously, then freezes.
原来你神神秘秘地跑过来。
That's what you came all this way for. Do you remember these?
那当然了。
Of course, didn't I give them to you? He nostalgically picks up the slightly worn, wilted origami flowers that have survived the years.
你还记得吗?
You remember there was a time when you got bullied by a few neighborhood kids? What the fuck? Imagine bullying Rosa.
他们威胁你说，
They threatened to give you a beating if you told your parents. Well, I guess Marius can imagine bullying Rosa. Anyway, you feared to not say you feared to say anything, moping all the time. Ah, I think that did happen. As the old memories, is it Rosa? Is like, was that in this timeline? I think I recall. As the old memories resurface, you recall that the incident was ultimately resolved, all thanks to Luke. He is like such a negotiator among children. Like, he can talk down any child, apparently. Wait, did I miss something? Why am I making this choice? Go to them to negotiate. Okay, yeah. Did you go to them in the end?
原来你知道。
You knew? I thought I'd kept the secret well. I went with the intention of but before I could, they just got scared off. And this bunch of flowers was also made to make you happy. Luke, somehow you feel a complex mixture of feelings at this moment. Oh, inside of me, these feelings, they're so complex. You lower your head, and as your eyes inadvertently sweep over the old items in the container, you suddenly notice something else that's been under the origami flowers. Huh? It's photo frame. You try placing the photo in the frame, only to find that it fits perfectly well. Oh my god, what the fuck? Actually cute. Wow. The bird on top of this frame looks like Peanut! Back then, I was always talking about raising a mina. Sadly for me, I was too young at the time, so your parents didn't let me. They must have been hopeful about it. This picture frame looks like a custom-made one. This is cute. Luke, I didn't expect you to give flowers to a girl at such a young age. Is that bad? They were for you anyway. It's so that the first bouquet you could receive in your life is from me. That would make for an unforgettable memory, wouldn't it? Sure, yes. I swear we've clicked everywhere. Okay, game. All right. It was the flowers. You've always been so good at making... Up! You've always been so good at making thing ever since you were a kid. This artificial bouquet is really lifelike. As a matter of fact, I wanted to send you real flowers at that time, but it was winter, so I couldn't pick the bright-colored wildflowers I wanted and had to learn how to make artificial flowers instead. Looking back now, it seemed like a pretty good idea. These artificial flowers last forever. That was it. All right, we got it. As you stroke the Mina ornament on the frame, you feel a little remorseful inside. It was actually your birthday that day, but you had to think of ways to make me happy. I was so inconsiderate back then. That was no big deal. Who says one can't give gifts on their birthday? Luke takes the frame in your hands and puts it back where it was. That's enough of that. He then leans down to look into your eyes. The emotions in his eyes surge like the undercurrents of the deep sea. Emotional surge. Because of you, I feel like being born is something I should be grateful for. Damn. No matter how much I've lost throughout the years, are you aware that you've always been the most precious part of my life? A question can serve multiple purposes, and this one Luke has asked sounds more like implicit testing and temptation, given that there's one and only answer to it. I do know. You step up and hug him, pressing him against the edge of the table, meeting his gaze subconsciously, unconsciously. Then, do you know that for many people, you are also a precious part of their lives? Me? I was just wondering why I haven't seen this photo before, ever since childhood. Could it be that you never mentioned why you needed a childhood photo at that time, so mom and dad naturally sent you the one they liked best? This photo was probably put in a place where it was most often seen outside the house. Their workplace, clearly. Over all the years, they've also been waiting for you to return with the photo, to refill the frame. It was probably a similar case with that senior of yours. He probably cherished that photo so much that it's been kept in pristine condition. Luke trembles slightly at your words. These are just my speculations, but what's certain is that I have also been waiting for you to return. Is that so? With a soft sigh, Luke bends down and buries his head on your shoulder. Then he murmurs like an aggrieved child. If I knew about this earlier, I wouldn't have been so scared. Huh? I didn't tell you before what it was that I feared. Not only did I fear that you would be sad if anything happened to me, it scared me even more to think that as time went on, you would forget me. As this feeling festered with time, I realized I was more selfish than I thought. Are you disappointed in me? Not at all. I should have let you know earlier. Ow. What happened? You hurry to explain, but as you change your posture, your gauze, not gaze, your gauze dressing grazes Luke's leg. Your gauze dressing grazes Luke's leg as your eyes meet his gaze, causing a stinging pain in your knee. Oh my god, I've been doing so much reading. Stinging, what the fuck? Does it hurt? Before you could say anything, Luke picks you up and sits you on the table with your legs dangling above ground. Luke! Let me check. He bends down to examine your knee. His brow is furrowed. I'm fine. It's just a little scrape. The wound should have scabbed over, so it wouldn't be a big problem. You always say that. It must still hurt, right? Under the hazy, warm orange light, you cast your eyes down at Luke and thread your fingers through his hair. You then blurt out something that surprises even yourself. It does hurt a little, but I probably won't feel it if someone helps to shift my attention elsewhere. Hint, hint. Luke follows your lead and looks up with sparks lighting up in his eyes. Let me help you. You just need to place all your attention on me. He slowly rises and leans into you. The unwithering origami flowers are inadvertently brushed off the table. In the dimly lit room, they still bloom as brightly as they did in the past. Fin. End. Incoming call from Luke! You finally answered. I thought something happened to you and almost went looking.
聚餐的时候忘记看手机了。
You didn't have time to check your phone during the party.
那你都吃了什
So
么
what
呀？
did you eat? Did you go with close friends?
是和关系很好的人一起去的吗？
Don't be sad.
只是工作上的合作伙伴。
Just some work friends? That's good.
那就没有，我没
Nothing.
什
I
么
was
重要
lying
的
in
事。
bed earlier wondering when you
就
would
是
visit
刚才
again.
躺在床上的时候，还能有哪里？当然
Where?
是来我
My
家。
place, of course.
之前你不是来借住
You
了几
came
天
over for a
吗？
few days, right?
等你走
After
后
you
我
left,
才
I
发现，
realized that there were traces of
不知
you all
不
over
觉
the
间，
place.
就连枕头上
Even the pillow has your scent
都
on
还
it.
留着
It's
你的
making me
味道，
miss you a bit.
所以
Just a bit.
我的状态很
Am I
奇
being
怪。
weird? I didn't drink
什么？
anything. I only had one
可
truly,
是我也
okay?
没喝什么呀，
Except for what you
就
left in the
喝了你
fridge.
留。
What?
什
There
么？
was booze in
那
it?
是
No
酒
wonder
精
I've
饮
been
料，
feeling a little dizzy.
怪不得
Thought I was going
从
crazy.
刚才开始
Oh,
就
tipsy
觉得有
Luke.
些晕晕乎乎的，
Tipsy, emotional
我还
Luke.
以为是笑什么？
What are you
对了，
laughing at, by the
你
way?
知道我
You
喝
know
不
I
了这
can't
些。
drink. Are you trying to get back at me?
不会，开玩笑的。
Just kidding. I know
我
you
知道
forgot to
那是
take it
忘
with
记
you.
带走的。
You wouldn't have waited till now if you
你
were
要是真
intending
有这
on
种
doing
想
that
法，
from the start.
也不抱歉，
Sorry for
有些
rambling.
胡
Not
言
sorry
乱
to
语
go
了。
off on a rant
我
here.
待会儿就
I'm
去
gonna
睡一
take a
觉，
nap.
醒
I
来
should
后
be
镜
fine
头
when I
应该
wake
就过
up.
去了。
This is cute. He's got like that
等
little
聚
bit of
餐结
blush.
束后就顺路过来。
Oh, you'll stop by after the party? Why so
这么突
sudden?
然？不，我没有不
Yeah,
方
that's
便，
okay with me.
我
I'm
只
just
是
a
有
little
些好
curious
奇，
why you'd suddenly want to
除
come
了
to
担
visit me.
心
Is
之
there any
外，
other reason
还有没有
other
别
than
的
you
原
worrying
因？
about me?
总而言之，我等你，
Anyway, I'll
路
wait
上
for
注
you.
意安全。
Drive safely.
你应
You
该有
have the
钥
key,
匙，
so just come
到时候
straight
直
in
接进来
when
就
you
好。
get here. That was cute. I did like that one. Hey. And we are rewarded for our efforts. Very nice. That was good. It was good.